What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our season preview for the New York Jets. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video, as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, with the 2022 NFL season fast approaching, we have yet another season preview to get to. Today, we're going to be talking about the New York Jets. The New York Jets are one of those teams that have definitely improved this offseason. If you haven't seen our video about the most improved teams this offseason, go check that out as well. But, Nick, I want to talk to you a little bit about what the Jets were able to do, specifically in the draft, in adding some key additions to this team, talking about players like Garrett Wilson from Ohio State, Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati, and we saw Jermaine Johnson II from Florida State, all first-round picks coming to the New York Jets. If Joe Douglas knows one thing, it's how to draft, and he has done that with the New York Jets. But he has struggled with the free agency part of things, and that's where we see some key free agents leaving the New York Jets. Starting off with Marcus Maye, the big-time safety, going to the Saints. We saw Jarrad Davis leaving and going to the Detroit Lions, and we also saw Jamison Crowder going to the rival Buffalo Bills. All of those names leaving this team, the Jets are getting younger, they're getting sleeker. Nick, taking a look at the schedule and the first 6 games specifically, what do you have on the docket for the Jets as they start their season?
The Jets may have improved on paper, but when it comes to the schedule, it's not looking so great. Starting the season 1-5 in their first 6 games, their only win coming in week 2, where they face the Cleveland Browns, who do not have Deshaun Watson at this point. We have Deshaun Watson getting an 8-game suspension, and in week 2, his replacement will be Jacoby Brissett. In this matchup, Jacoby Brissett just will not have the chemistry, the talent to get past what the New York Jets are offering. A lot of athleticism, a lot of great skill that is still being developed in New York, and it will be enough to get past the Cleveland Browns in week 2. But then moving on to a game like week 4 against the Pittsburgh Steelers with Kenny Pickett under center. You got Zach Wilson, year 2 quarterback against year 1 quarterback. I believe in this matchup, Zach Wilson will be able to throw the ball around extremely well with Garrett Wilson and his newest running back, Breece Hall. And that's going to give the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers some trouble. But TJ Watt is no joke. He was a one-man wrecking machine for this team and almost willed the Steelers to the playoffs by himself. He's looking to take that season sack record for himself this year, and with the offensive line for the New York Jets not improving too much, TJ Watt's going to be a problem, and I believe that he will be the absolute difference maker in this matchup to give the Pittsburgh Steelers a win over the New York Jets.
Before we move over to the next 6 games, I want to point out that the Jets will be playing the entire AFC North in their first 4 games, which I just think is funny for the schedule makers. But moving over to week 7, we see that the New York Jets are taking on the Denver Broncos. The Broncos and Russell Wilson. The Jets were one of those teams that were definitely in on Russell Wilson a season ago, but with Zach Wilson now under center as their quarterback for the 2nd straight year, this is the way the team has gone. They are getting younger, they're getting faster, and I expect this to be a competitive game. I believe that Russell Wilson brings the Broncos up a couple notches from where they've been the last couple of years, but the New York Jets are also much better. I think this is going to be a competitive game through and through, and by the end of it, the New York Jets are going to have some confidence in themselves and their abilities. And that brings us to week 8, where I see the New England Patriots being the next victory on the schedule for this team. The New England Patriots have long been the rival that they have absolutely hated, because the New York Jets, let's face it, were the entire reason that Tom Brady became who he was. Mo Lewis injuring Drew Bledsoe led to, well, what we know today as Tom Brady, the GOAT of football. And now we see the Jets starting to turn a new page. They're getting younger, they're getting better. They want to take on the New England Patriots. They want to make a statement, and this is the game to do it. I believe that Zach Wilson will have a day against this defense. They are going to be able to put up some points. The defense will create havoc for Mac Jones and company, and it will not be a pretty sight in MetLife Stadium for the New England Patriots. The Jets will get their 2nd win of the season. Through these 6 weeks, finishing with a 3-8 record. It's not what Jets fans were hoping for, but it is already an improvement from where they were just a year ago. Nick, what do the last 6 games have on the docket for the New York Jets?
Jets fans should be happy because they may have started the season pretty poor, but they ended decent, going 3-3 or 6-11 on the year. It's a very big improvement over where they were last year. Zach Wilson showing that he can take this team further than the last few quarterbacks for the Jets have. And when we look at these 6 games, we see that they take on the Vikings in week 13. Not a great matchup. The Minnesota Vikings making improvements on this defense with Zadarius Smith, Danielle Hunter moving to the outside linebacker position, creating a very fierce edge rush attack for the Vikings to go along with their explosive wide receivers, Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook in that backfield, just going to be too much veteran talent for the young New York Jets to take on. But then when we look at week 15, when the New York Jets take on another young team in the Detroit Lions, 2 teams that have struggled to get wins the last few years, the Detroit Lions have made some massive improvements this offseason themselves. DJ Chark coming over from Jacksonville, getting Aiden Hutchinson and Jamison Williams in the draft. Jared Goff was a decent quarterback for them last year, but we see Zach Wilson coming into this game with his weapons at this point in the season, having great chemistry. They're improving, and Zach Wilson shows his abilities. Zach Wilson shows his abilities against this strong defense for the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell may be knocked down, and he might try to get back up, but Zach Wilson won't let him, and the Jets come out with a big victory in week 15.
6-11, again, massive improvement for the New York Jets, and when it's all said and done, this is the trajectory that the Jets are on. It's going to be a slow rebuild. They're going to have another top 10 draft pick, most likely. They are not sniffing the playoffs just yet, but I think that they're a few years away. We see teams like the Raiders, the Chiefs, the Broncos. All of these teams are going to be in contention for the AFC title. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills, one of the best teams, not only in the division, but in the conference and in the NFL as a whole. The Jets will be able to get better just going against quality competition. And as these young guys progress, the Jets will have a much better team going forward. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.